everyone. Welcome to 24 hours of UX. So for those who just joined us, can you please, go to the chat, say something like whichever part of the world you are from and what time is it over there? Thank you very much. So this is a 24 hours conference running from New Zealand, Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. And luckily, we are here today with Ely Apao at hour number 6. So it's been 6 hours we are running on live. Okay. So this is where I'm from. I'm from Malaysia. And Ely is from here, and he is here. I don't really get it correctly, but so basically that's where we are. So right now, 6 o'clock in the evening, still very tired. Ely just came back from office. So basically we have 20 talks in 2 tracks. First track is in UX practice, okay? And the second one is UX strategy. Just to introduce you, Alexis is also with us. He's in Geneva.
Yes, so exactly. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the session.
So it's about 12 o'clock. It's lunchtime, is it?
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, we do have 6 keynotes, 8 workshops, 20 talks in 2 tracks. We have practice and also elevating UX, which is more on the strategy level. And for those who just joined us, don't forget you can do a lot of interactions here. So we recommend you to use the buttons like emoji buttons, which I can see now, and also CC buttons if you want some kind of subtitles. And on the right-hand side, you can look at the chat. Use that chat box a lot. And right now, I want you to key in where you're from and your time. And also, you can ask questions in the Q&A tabs. All right. So try to avoid this raise hand, the hand gesture, because you will be invited to be on stage. So if I were you, I try to avoid that, pressing this button. All right. Okay. So without further delay, I will disappear. And me and Alexis will be at the back. We will disappear from the stage, and we will come back 5 minutes at the end of the session. Okay. The stage is yours, Ely.
Thank you. Thank you, Idya. Hello, everyone. I'm seeing a lot of people I know. Hi. Thank you for joining today's session. Thank you for joining me. So today, I'm going to do this topic on communicating faster with visual note and knowledge management systems. Okay. Let me just... Okay. So who am I? I'm Ely. I have over 12 years of experience in user experience design, in product development. I do a lot of UX coaching. I was invited to Google on Developers Launchpad a couple of years ago to do UX coaching there. I am the founder of UX Philippines. It is a non-profit organization. Our vision is to help the Filipino creative. And then we're a non-profit. We're 5,000 members, Facebook-based. And I'm also the customer experience head of one of the largest conglomerates in Manila, Philippines. And in today's topic, we're going to talk about having the mindset, atomic mindset, and I am going to demonstrate. And then I have some questions that I'd like to go through with you, hopefully to inspire you. Because we have only 30 minutes, I can only show you the mountain. You will have to travel it. So I can give you the map. You have to trek. So I can show you that's the mindset that I'm showing coming in from where I am. So atomic mindset, breaking down and building up. So atomic mindsets, I used to think that atoms are only about chemistry, Then I've seen the idea of atomic in atomic design, in atomic essays, and even in atomic habits. Okay, so atomic design, I've heard about this from Brad Frost. He came to the Philippines a couple of years, I think 6 years ago, and he did a talk on atomic design. Very great guy. He played the guitar, and he basically taught us that interfaces can be broken down to smaller components, and each component can be made into fundamental building blocks. And you can do the same thing. You can read about this. Okay. Then I read about atomic essay. What are atomic essays? So atomic essays are actually 250-word atomic essays. Is popular in Twitter right now. Atomic essays are from the Shift 3430, an online writing course by Nicholas Cole and Dickie Bush. It is cohort-based course which teaches the fundamentals of writing online. So making bite-sized pieces of content. So, and then I read about Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a very popular book. I think it's in the Amazon bestseller top 3, I think top 5. One of the best-selling books on forming habits. And just as atoms are building habits, are building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. And the idea is start with small habits, and each small habit can compound. Okay, so basically the idea here is they are all systems, and you starting with those little systems, a design, an essay, a habit. These are groups of interacting or interrelated elements that act together to a set of rules to form a unified whole. So you can create something by breaking something apart and then making something new from it. And this is actually related to a talk by, if you watch a video by Elon Musk when he was interviewed by the founder of, forgot who interviewed him, but he was interviewed and talked about first principles, the idea of first principles. And the first principles is basically that how can you break down ideas into basic principles, and then from those basic principles you build something up, similar to a design system. Okay. Now the cool thing about this, what if you could combine these systems? What if you make your communication system, your atomic essays into summaries, and make atomic visual elements, and then form daily atomic habits to build all this up? What would it look like? And if you made it into a communications system, how would that look like? Okay. So it would, I think, roughly look like something like a personal Wikipedia. You would have a Wikipedia, you would have your notes, pages of Wikipedia pages, summaries, and you could add design elements, you could add visuals, and if you can even break down those visuals, it can be made whole again later on. And I'll show you later how that might look like. So think about Lego blocks. You're making your little Lego blocks for you to make your work faster. So I'll just jump into a quick demo of how would that possibly look like. And this a caveat, my system right now I transferred from another system, so it's not all, you'll see a bunch of trash in the system, but I'll show you how it could possibly look like. I'll jump into my software that I'm using for this. Share screen, window. Okay, share. I hope you're seeing my screen. I don't think it's being shared. Do you see my screen? Yeah, there you go, I see it. So what you're seeing here is a open source software. It's called Obsidian. What's cool about Obsidian, it's a note-taking software, and it's marketed as having a second digital brain, digital second brain. And what happens when I have my digital second brain, I basically do this. I started creating my daily notes, creating little tidbits of information, and I called them my evergreen notes. This is how it looks like, my evergreen notes. And how I built these evergreen notes, each one, the name of this system is Obsidian. So each one of this is actually a note, this Z. I added a Z so I can easily search for it once I start with the Z. Each one of these is an idea, one idea that stands on its own. Basically, I started looking, when I started reading, I would capture different ideas. I would digest it, convert them, use principles of processing, paraphrasing, and making it into my own. That's the first step. Then I would make connections to other existing ideas. So if you notice, this is about the Tolman method, and there was another idea that is said that's connected to this. And so basically these are relevant ideas, and I have my notes, what are the articles. And what this does for me is it allowed me to create instant connections or hyperlinks between them. So if you are able to do this, it's easy to make these little tidbits of notes. Imagine having a index card in your hand that you basically write down, and each index card stands on its own. So this is what I've been doing right now. So imagine having this kind of system in place. And how can you maximize something like this? I do this, I create atomic essays, I do it daily as an atomic habit. Sometimes if I have time, I add an image. If I can make it into an atomic image as well, with one image that represents the idea itself even better, I put it here. Now, what that does for me is, if a scenario comes that I need to present an idea, it's easy for me to just grab it and put it in my system and make it into a presentation. I have an instant visual communication system. Great. How does that look like? Say, let me go back to my evergreen notes. Say that, here's a scenario. Your boss comes to you and tells you, you need to make a presentation tomorrow. And okay, presentation about what? Okay, you need to make a presentation about something you learned, Ikigai. You would make a presentation about Ikigai. And you said, oh no, Ikigai. I think I know where my notes are, but they're in various different formats. There's one in a book, there's one in an article, there's one in some notes I've taken in paper. There's a podcast that I heard about it. So in different locations and different ideas. If you create a knowledge management system, a personal knowledge management system like this, you start collecting all these ideas and forming it here, and then making it into atomic bite-sized elements. You can now rebuild from those bite-sized elements. And how does that look like? Okay. So I need to make a presentation about Ikigai. How do I do that? I have tomorrow to present it. How would they make a presentation? Okay. So let's look for my content on Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept, a reason for being. Maybe I can use this as a starting point. Okay. So Ikigai, and then I'll put that here. Let me just increase this and increase this. And let me just clean this up. Why is my screen edit not working? So Ikigai. I'll just make a presentation, new page. I need to make a presentation about presentation about Ikigai, and I have 10 minutes to show my Ikigai presentation. Ikigai is the concept, is the Japanese concept for reason for being. Okay, let me just hide this so it's okay. What else is in my database about Ikigai? Ikigai. Ikigai is the intersection of what you are good at and you love doing. Oh, I have something else. Ikigai. Convergence of your passion, your mission, your vocation, and profession. Okay, what else? What can I think about? Let me look at this. What's inside here? There are energized focus, coach. So I think I wrote down Ikigai as something related to the flow state or getting to the flow. Maybe I can write something about getting to the flow. Maybe what else? I wrote something. I connected that idea of Ikigai to the idea of authenticity and an authentic life, being true to yourself. The Z, I'm just using the Z so it's easier for me to find because there'd be too many. So I just use Z so that I know these are things that I've already processed. If I did not put the Z, I'd be having too many to search. So this is like a prefix for me to search. So authenticity. Let's look at authenticity. Authenticity is a psychological concept that I think I can tie with Ikigai. What else? Authenticity. You constantly grow and live. It's not live. It's supposed to be live. Your utmost potential. Okay, and what else can I talk about being utmost potential? How do you live? Growth. The growth mindset. Maybe I can talk about the growth mindset when I have this presentation. Having a growth mindset. So here, in 3 minutes, I made all these notes with the Z, unfortunately, but I can remove that later on, into something I can make now into a presentation because I'm using Obsidian, and Obsidian has these tools that allow me to instantly make, let me just make this into a presentation by adding these three dashed lines. Okay, this is marked down, by the way, the language. Okay. Now, I have an outline. I can present this outline now. Presentation. Present. Our presentation. And boom, I have a presentation about Ikigai. And it's a starting point of my lecture. Ikigai is the Japanese concept of reason for being. We can talk about Ikigai. It is basically the intersection of what you good and what you love doing. It's the conversions of your passion, your mission, vocation, and your profession. And it's related to being your true self, being authentic. And authentic is a psychological concept that means you are acting consistent with your belief. And it is where you constantly grow and live up to your utmost potential. And you can do this if you have a growth mindset, meaning you are not limited and you have the potential to improve. Boom, I have an outline that I build upon on. I can even make an essay about this. But what about images? How can I add images? Well, if each of these had images, I could actually put some images as well. Let's see if I have an image of Ikigai. I think I do have an image for Ikigai, and I can search for illustration under Ikigai. Oh, yeah, I do have one illustration. So when I go to presentation mode, Ikigai, I can put, although it's not fit, I can resize it later on. So basically, I can build these elements of knowledge, and I can build, even if I have images, I can add it here. So in like 10 minutes, I made a presentation about Ikigai. And not just that, I made connections to different ideas. It's Ikigai. I connected with authenticity, and I connected it to the growth mindset. And these are coming from many different ideas, many different books that I've broken down to its basic elements and now start to rebuild and to make into my own. And this is creativity. You are being creative by breaking it down and making it something that you can use for your own. All right. Whew, quick 10-minute demo, and I have 10 minutes remaining. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay, window. So, yeah. So that's a very quick demonstration of what you can do. Look what I did in 5 minutes. Imagine what you can do in a day, right? So this is what I had done for you. Present. Basically, you create your own system. You can automatically capture data inputs. You create the habits to process those input, add design patterns to incorporate into your system, and you have now instantly able to communicate and present ideas, not just ideas taken from books, but eventually combining it, mashing it to your own to make your own interpretation of an idea. And this is an example of the knowledge management system. And as you can see, it's pretty limited. So if you're feeling that you're rushing tasks and you have no sleep, you can start off with an atomic habit. Do 15, 30 minutes every day to build your personal Wikipedia, something like this. And you can use Obsidian, you can use Rome Research, or maybe you're familiar with Notion. You can use either one of those tools. Idea is for you to build your Lego blocks. Why? Because you're the golden goose that lays the egg. Don't kill the goose. Don't tire yourself. Get some sleep. Then the challenge is, what you've seen here is very limited. I could only do what I have right now based off 6 months of collecting this. You can do a whole lot more. Imagine I haven't even maximized a design system here. So for the you designers there, imagine if you create a design system that has all your notes, text notes, and then you can instantly make into presentations. You can use impress.js or reveal.js. Imagine that capability. And this is just a start. I do have atomic essays on this topic because I was taking this course as well. And you can follow me. And these are the references on this, so I can share this for you. And thank you. 30 minutes, 22 minutes, quickly done. And I hope you found value in this, 22-minute talk. So I'll go through your questions quickly. Look at the questions tab. Let me see. QA. Yes, I will share the slides. May we see what an individual page would look like, fleshed out ideas. Did you see it earlier? It was, it's basically, imagine what you can put in a note, in an index card. It's just a summary of an idea, and then how I express it in one sentence. And sometimes if I can then get an image, I put an image, and then I try to make connections with other existing ideas I already have. That's why it feels like a Wikipedia. What else? What are your questions? I'm looking at your questions. Did you write all the statements? Yes, all the Z's, all the statements that were starting with Z, I started making them 2 to 3 per day. So I would read, I would highlight, and everything that I highlight, I have a capture system. My capture system is, the software I'm using is Readwise. So it's called Readwise. I'll type in chat. It's a paid service though, but I'm using that to capture information. What else? Do you think there's a trade-off between the convenience of digital notes and tangible pen and paper? Do you have advice for that? Oh, there are technologies now that can also capture paper notes and it goes to my digital. And the idea really here is to put your we're UX people, get your cognitive load out of your brain and put it in another medium, in this case, my digital second brain. And actually the branding for this, if you look for it, is the lessons for this are the digital second brain. You can look for the concept of a digital second brain, or a Zettelkasten. It's in German, Zettelkasten. You can look for those ideas. And what else? May we see, I think we're done. Okay, how to prevent note-taking from interfering with your consumption. I have a flow state that I have a system in place, and it's in my video. In this video that I shared here, there's a link here. How I instantly capture web page content using Obsidian and Alfred. I'm using Alfred and Obsidian every time for instance, I'm in a meeting and someone talks about a topic that I don't know about. Someone talks about design thinking and I'm not familiar with design thinking. I have an instant capture system that I will type using Alfred and Obsidian captures to my revisit Obsidian later. boom, it goes to there, and then I can continue my meeting. It does not disturb my flow state or my meeting flow. So it should not interfere with my consumption, what you are doing. How do you decide how small an idea unit quantifies an atomic? I would try so imagine what's your use case. For me, my use case is really for presentations because I do a lot of coaching, teaching. My use case is every idea should be an example of a takeaway in a PowerPoint presentation. So this particular flow is geared towards me. You can find out what flow works for you. So it's really geared towards making one key takeaway that I can put as a slide. So that's my intent. Okay. Idyawati, are there anything else? 30 minutes. We have a few minutes. Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, this simple system starts with you, but imagine how you can extend this now to your teams. You can have a central repository of all the zetals or the atomic ideas that once you have all passed through everybody, and you can put there, and you would have a shared resource for your presentations, just like a design system, like an atomic design system.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, I have 4 minutes for questions.
Yeah. Let's just go through it. Isn't there any more questions from the floor? Let me double check.
So yeah, just follow me on Twitter and in LinkedIn. I usually post my ideas like this on Twitter. I post essays and discussions of how I do my systems. I actually have a YouTube channel as well, Ely.cx, because I'm a CX manager, Ely.cx.
Let's subscribe now.
Thank you. Okay, I'll stop sharing so you can...
your YouTube channel, I'll pin it into the chat. So
thank you.
People can jump on it. No, cool. Thanks for the talk, Ely. Was really awesome. So now it's like we're having, I think, a music interlude. It's in between time zones, I guess. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the talks. It was super insightful. I tried Obsidian actually in the past before, but now I have some more tips for this. And it was lovely to meet you, Ely and Idy. Maybe you wonder. So 24 hour of UX continues. We have also the podcast, and also we have a networking lounge. If you want to break down, meet some other people, you go through the reception, like arrow back, and you can meet some people, network, etc. So have a try and meet some new people. It was awesome to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you found this useful. Bye-bye.
It is very useful.